Hello everyone, Neil Patel here. Thank you for downloading the latest episode of the Indian Startup Show. So in this week's episode, I chat to Neha Gupta. She's the founder of Lipikar. So Lipikar is a simple and intuitive typing tool for all Indian languages. And as you know, there's quite a few Indian languages, about 18. So this tool works on common text editors like MS Office, website and browser plugins, as well as a keyboard app for Android phones as well. So in this conversation, we talk about how it got started, main features and benefits, time spent working at Amazon to launching the Lipikar app this year, which already has 100,000 downloads so far. So Neha also gives advice on B2B sales and creating product from scratch. So please enjoy the show. Thank you. Hello Neha, thanks for coming on the Indian Startup Show today.
Hi Neil, thank you for having me here.
Excellent. Can you give me a brief overview of what you're building, please?
Sure. So our product is called Lipikar. It is a typing solution for 18 Indian languages. We have a patent on, the typing method. Yep. Unlike transliteration, where you kind of spell the English word, the Hindi word in English, you would here actually use certain mapping techniques to kind of type the word effortlessly.
Excellent. And how did you get started with this? Where did the idea come from, please?
So actually, it's interesting. My father's company used to deal with these scrolling displays, LED-based displays that are used in India very often, typically in banks and local shops. And the requirement from them came a way to kind of show messages in Indian languages on that display. But the problem being that the person using it in the shop would typically not be very comfortable with, computers or something very advanced or not know English too well. So to provide a way that they can easily type in Indian languages onto that display without needing too much English was the real requirement. And that's how we kind of built and invented Lipikar. And once we saw people using it and how quickly they were able to learn and use it, we decided to take it on the web and on the mobile.
Excellent. And how long have you been doing this? How's it going so far?
It's going okay. We've been around for around 5 years or so. We've recently become more mobile focused. Previously, we were very desktop software kind of, that was our focus area. And with mobile, we've seen tremendous traction. We launched in January this year and we've already got 1 lakh active users on our mobile apps. So it's going good so far. There's still, India, and languages is still early. Are still hesitant about, buying software and things like that. So they're looking for something quick and free. So that takes a while to kind of, overcome.
So when you first started, what were the early days like?
Early days actually were a lot around, once we had the software and we were live, reaching out to, small and medium-sized businesses, trying to pitch Lipikar and getting them to understand how it's different from the other softwares that are available. And typically those sales cycles take, a couple of months. So early days involved a lot of waiting, but once we got started, things started moving quickly.
Okay. Let's talk about you then. What's your background then? Is it a tech background or business background?
Yeah, it's a tech background actually. I've done my bachelor's in computer science, and post that I've been working all along. I was part of Amazon for 3 years, where I was both, on the tech side as well as I later kind of moved to product management.
What's it like working at Amazon?
It's a lot of fun and a lot of stress because there's so much to do. There's never a dull moment at Amazon. So it was fun 3 years.
What did you learn from Amazon?
A lot actually. It teaches you a lot about being very metrics focused, and nothing you build is sort of just, a nice to have unless you have a clear goal of how it's going to either benefit the business, the customer, or both. You won't be building anything there. So it teaches you a lot about being very metrics obsessed.
How big's the team now?
So we're 4 people right now, mainly me and a couple of people who help with support. A lot of our development we sort of outsource. So we don't have any in-house team who does the development.
Okay, cool. So what would you say is like the hardest part of the business? What takes up most of your time?
It's usually the sales cycle for, enterprises. All our sales for customers happen online or through e-commerce portals like Amazon or Flipkart. So that doesn't take up much of my time. But reaching out to, bigger companies for most of the bulk orders, that takes a considerable amount of meeting and following up and things like that till it's actually done.
So have you got any tips for our listeners then on how to do sort of B2B sales?
B2B sales is a lot about networking actually. So, it's about getting out of the office, being part of, attending events so that you can build certain contacts that you can leverage later. And also being really, really persistent because, it takes quite a few cycles before someone feels comfortable giving you that big an order. So it takes its time.
So in the next year then, what would you say are the critical milestones, for the company?
So we're working on a couple of, big sort of partnerships, which we're hoping will go through. One of them being with Microsoft. We're in talks with them to try to. So Lipicar as a software gets utilized maximum with Microsoft Word and Excel. And so there's a lot of synergy there. And we're in talks with their localization team here in India to see if there's something we can sort of, work on together. And then there's also a lot of focus around, having some mobile partnerships where we can get pre-installed on certain handsets and increase our reach. So these two are our big sort of milestones for this year.
Excellent. I mean, what kind of feedback have you had from customers then since it was launched, the app?
Oh, so the app actually, we did a very MVP thing where we just went very basic to see, is there enough, need in the market for something like this on the mobile. And the response has been overwhelming. We've been getting a lot of feature requests and things where, people love how they can type with it and they keep giving us suggestions on how we can improve it. So we're actually about to release another app update this week, and I see us sort of, having quick release cycles on the app side that way.
Excellent.
With emojis and, Indian stickers and things like that.
Okay, cool. And how are you sort of marketing that app then? Is it through word of mouth, Twitter, SEO, Facebook? What's working for you?
Yeah, it's actually a combination of those. Initially, we did a bit of Google advertising to get, some eyeballs going. And once we saw, customers saw it, we saw a word of mouth trend going through. And so we didn't need to advertise that heavily. Right now, we sort of invest a bit on Facebook and some email marketing.
Excellent. So, I mean, you've been doing this for 5 years now. Are you sort of generating money out of this now, or are you still looking for financing, or are you bootstrapping this? How's it working?
Yeah, we've been bootstrapping this and we've been generating money all along. So it's not a whole lot of money, but it does sustain us and we keep growing year on year.
Excellent. What excites you most about this startup?
Actually, it's the kind of customers you deal with. It's from a variety of backgrounds and age groups. We have like senior citizens who write into us saying that I'd retired and had nothing to do. Now with Lipicar, I'm writing my own book, in Hindi or something like that. And those kind of moments are really inspiring to see that you can make a difference through something so simple.
So on the mobile app, they can use it for like WhatsApp and Facebook and email and stuff like that?
Yes. Actually, our biggest usage comes out of WhatsApp and Facebook.
Okay. So obviously you've built a product from scratch. I mean, any tips for our listeners on how to build a product from scratch?
So my advice would be to keep it really, really simple. Go with a very basic, functionality kind of software. Put it, or if it's a software or an app, and put it out there and start getting customer feedback. Because what you think the customer might find really, really important may not be something that he even cares about really. So when we launched the app, we try to keep it really simple with no fancy features like dictionary and those kind of things. And within a few weeks itself, we realized, customers were asking more for emojis rather than the dictionary support. So, that's what we focused on next. So, try to put something out there quickly is my advice, and be extremely, make sure you have all your metric tracking in place so that once you put it out there, you can quickly start measuring, what's working well, what's not working well, where are the drop-offs when a person starts using the keyboard, where do they get stuck, so that you can invest your dev resources accordingly.
Excellent. I mean, how big do you want to go with this?
I hope to be really, really big, but like I said, it's a slow cycle. It's like this one big deal can suddenly make or break things. So I would really hope that everyone in India using Lipicar, can can start using technology more. Like today, a lot of people read local newspapers and talk in their local language. But when it comes to computers or mobiles, they always think it's English only, And to be able to break that barrier and make technology appealing to Indians, that's the dream.
So who's actually using this then? Obviously you said the older generation, but is it like more people in the rural areas who are working, or is it younger professionals? Who's your...
No, it's a lot of professionals actually, like lawyers, journalists, a lot of people in advertising and media. So in India, typically lawyers need to write up certain documents in the local language in local district. So a lot of those people use it. Teachers use it a lot. Banking professionals use it. So there is a lot of professional usage. In the rural areas, particularly, it's not that professional usage. It's about SMS sending and things like that. So it's not. They typically go in for a free version where they can just chat or communicate.
I'm just going to ask you some quick fire questions now.
Okay.
Are you a tea drinker or a coffee drinker?
A tea drinker.
Okay. Are you a morning person or a night person?
Night person.
Okay. What picture do you have on your smartphone home screen?
It's hot air balloons in Turkey.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. So you went to Turkey, right?
No, actually, right. That's where I want to go next. So it's sort of
okay.
dreaming about it.
Okay. What do you do on a Sunday?
Sunday, typically, I think sleep and recover on all my lost sleep.
Okay.
And otherwise, go out for a nice brunch or things like that.
Okay. Right. Okay. So what's your idea of food heaven then? What do you like to eat?
Actually, home food.
Okay. What's your idea of food hell? What don't you like to eat?
What don't I like to eat? Actually, I'm not that picky now that you asked me, I realize.
Okay.
I don't mind anything.
Oh, right. Okay, cool. Do you have any favorite books or blogs you like to recommend to our listeners?
Sure. Books, there are quite a few. I'm currently reading The Lean Startup. It seems really, really exciting. The way it's written and the kind of anecdotes it shares. A lot of the, books around like the Zappo story, Amazon's, book and things. You get to learn a lot from people's journeys. So those are the books I usually like to read. Blogs, I'm sort of, whichever is the most trending article. I don't sort of subscribe to a specific blog. But TechCrunch is sort of usually my go-to for all tech news.
Cool. Last couple of questions. Do you have any heroes?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates, okay. And what is it about Bill Gates that you like?
I think his journey overall, obviously because of what he did with Microsoft, but even his evolution as a person and now all the philanthropic work he does, it's been really inspiring to see his, journey as an entrepreneur and as a person.
Excellent. So last question then. If people want more information on Lipicar and yourself, what must they do?
So for Lipicar, they should go to our website, www.lipicar.com. That is LIPIKAR.com. And for me, they can connect with me on my email ID, which is neha@lipicar.com.
Well, thank you for coming on the show today, Neha, and have a great week and good luck.
Thank you, Neil. This has been great. Thank you.
Thanks for Neha for coming on the show today. Awesome stuff. If you want more information, then please go to the website lipicar.com. That's the end of the show. If you liked it, please leave a rating and review of the show. Just search for the Indian Startup Show on iTunes. We're also on Stitcher, Overcast, Podcasts, Downcast, Instacast, Podkicker and Apple TV. If you have any feedback on the show, please email me hello@neilpatel.co or tweet @IndianStartupSH, or please go to facebook.com/Indian Startup Show. We'd love to connect. Thank you and goodbye.